just get up, try to do stuff, or maybe just go back to bed. Good lord, the weather is horrible today. It's definitely one of those wear a nice warm jumper and drink lots of hot chocolate days. Always a good shout. Life is full of ups and downs. Last Thursday, I was horribly ill, just lying in bed, coughing away, desperately trying to recover. And then it got to Sunday, I was feeling much better, fully recovered, and I got a Glastonbury ticket. Seriously, I felt like one of the lucky few, like Charlie Bucket when he finds his golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It really was that hard to get tickets. It was something like 135,000 tickets sold out in 27 minutes. A rate of roughly 90 per second for any nerdy number fans out there, which is crazy just to even consider. With that sort of like, numbers, you're thinking, how on earth do I even get a ticket? I don't even know myself, to be honest. I'm just incredibly grateful that I got through, and if anyone who's watching didn't get a ticket, then I am so sorry. I will try not to be too boastful or smug about it, but I can't help but be a little bit happy, I'm not going to lie about that. But anyway, let's backtrack a little bit. I got home on Wednesday night and I just finished work, and I had a whole free day on Thursday, so I decided it was time to get back on track with things with YouTube, get videos running again, regular videos. And then Thursday morning I woke up and I had freshers flu. Yep, a graduate with freshers flu. How depressing is that? I pretty much skipped all the best parts of Freshers Week and went straight to the bad stuff. It's like seeing a giant birthday cake but only being allowed the burnt bits on the side that no one really wants. Unfortunately, there wasn't any paracetamol or aspirin or any magic healing tablets in my house, so I had to make the mammoth trek to the local supermarket. Now, even though the nearest supermarket is about a 10-minute walk away, it still required all of my effort to make the journey. So all that advice about resting when you're poorly, just completely disregard that, Zeppelin. Why not? I could feel the temperature coming on as well, so I had to prepare as much as possible. Now, weather-wise, it was one of those days when it's really sunny outside, but it's autumn now. It's getting a bit chilly, but there's definitely a chill in the air. And even so, most people were still just wearing t-shirt and trousers, fairly laid back. Whereas I was in a thick parka, a nice woolly jumper. I even seriously debated wearing a scarf. I mean, come on, it is the start of autumn now. You've got to think from that sort of perspective. I must have looked such a state shuffling down the street just to get my tablets. Gotta get me some pills. But thankfully, I made it on my epic quest. I got there, got my pills, and that sounds so dodgy saying that. You know what I mean. I got back home, but it sapped all of my energy, so I pretty much spent the rest of the day on the sofa having a massive duvet day. Or a duvet afternoon by that point, now I think about it. Now, I know some people who have duvet days every weekend. I'm not one of those sort of people usually. I like to go out and do things, but when you're ill, there is no better cure than a duvet day. Just rest on the sofa, have plenty of cups of tea and hot chocolate and soup as you can, and before you know it, you'll be fine again. 100% proven scientific formula. Seriously, it works. It's quite bad that one of the main reasons why I wanted to get better is because I was down for work on both Friday and Saturday, so I was determined to do whatever possible to make myself feel better. Gotta pay those bills. Thankfully, I do have one master technique to make myself better in times of dire need. Practice your breathing. No, seriously. Number one, it calms you immensely. Number two, it's something about getting your airways clear that just seems to work wonders, I'm not a scientist, but it always helps me. And if anyone walks past you and asks, what on earth are you doing? Just say you're doing yoga. Works every time. Although, having said that, I still have a bit of a cold, so it's not worked completely, but I'm getting there, bit by bit. If you have any special techniques for making yourself feel better, then feel free to share them in the comments, because I definitely would love to hear them, and I'm sure others would too. Just keep it clean is all I'm saying. Now to Glastonbury. As you probably know, I think I've mentioned it once or twice, I went to this year's incarnation, absolutely loved it. Once you go, you can't imagine not going in future years. It's one of those things. The problem with that though is that each year there's more and more people who want to go, and so it becomes even more difficult to get a ticket. Still though, it's one of those things that once we got out of the festival gates, we all said to each other, me and my family and friends, we've got to go again next year. We simply have to. So we all began making ticket strategies for Sunday, October the 5th. The dreaded Glastonbury ticket day. Forget essays, forget exams, Forget job applications, nothing is more stressful than getting a ticket to Glastonbury. It just completely destroys you. Now, I had both friends and family trying to get tickets for me, 2 different groups, and at first I was like, is that being a little bit greedy? And also I was thinking, what if the worst case scenario happens, that both of them try and get through, and they try to buy tickets for me, and one of them ends up not being able to buy a ticket because the other person has put one in my name, if that makes sense. I told this to my parents and they were like, oh no Jack, that's like, that will never happen. The chances of that must be like, you know, 1,000,000 to 1 sort of thing, you know. We've got to both get through at the right time for that sort of thing to happen. Well, lo and behold, that 1 in a million chance came up. And oh my god, it was the worst thing I've ever had. Basically, my parents got through and they were able to get me a ticket, and as they called me to let me know, my friend then tried to get through, and like, obviously I didn't know that my parents just got me a ticket, so, you know, I couldn't tell him, I'm not a blimmin' mind reader, but he tried, and he tried to get me one as well, and as he got right to the very end of the whole process, it said, we cannot give you a ticket because Jack Racemark has already got you one. Oh my god, it was so much drama. My friend had been lucky enough to actually get into the Glastonbury ticket buying process because some people literally couldn't even get onto the actual display screen to buy tickets. It was that many people trying to get onto the website. It was crazy. So he'd got through, he'd gone through the whole buying process. I was told at the last minute that he couldn't do it because of me. It did feel like I'd been a bit selfish in being in multiple groups, and maybe I was, you know, but I really didn't think that sort of thing would happen, you know. Obviously, I said beforehand that if it did happen, I would tell the other straight away not to try and buy me a ticket. It just happened all so quickly that, oh man, oh no, I've just realised only 363 days to the next buying Glastonbury ticket day thing. Oh my god. The stress! Thankfully it's all happy days now because my friend, by some miracle, was able to get through again and then buy tickets to the other people in our group. That was the upside of it because, no, the worst case scenario after that would be that he'd try and get them again and no one would have got tickets. So thankfully we did, but at the same time that was 4 of us and there were 10 people in our friendship group all trying to get tickets and the other 6 unfortunately were not successful. It all happened so quickly as well, and some people didn't even get the chance to even try and buy a ticket. I didn't. I spent half an hour looking at a blank screen, just constantly refreshing it, trying to get it to work. Nothing happened. It really is such a mad experience. Believe me though, in the long run, it will totally be worth it. Even if Glastonbury is like 8 months away, I'm still so happy to have got one. Thank you, whatever was on my side that morning. Thank you. So the moral to this video is, things might be bad on one day, but on another day you might wake up and find yourself with tickets to the happiest place on earth. So, you know, life is full of ups and downs. Take it as it comes. More videos coming soon. Stay tuned! What had I done? All the memories Professor Plastic and his So Solid and Liquid and Gas crew, they're all just gone. I wouldn't be able to treasure them and take them home and be able to look back at that photo and go, oh, I remember that time when we dressed up as crazy scientific make-believe characters. I had ruined that.